Hello, welcome back, my beautiful empresses. Welcome to Embody Your Empress. My name is Sarah King, the host of the podcast and the founder of Empress Nation. This is the place to be for our beautiful souls who are delving into who they are as a human, who they are on a soul level, and what their mission in this life is here to be. We have a beautiful guest today, Larisa Makuch, and here to talk about the things that stand in our way, the things that we let get in our way, and how we can smash them up, transform them, and be that woman that we are calling to be. Larisa, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. I would love to start, Larisa, with who are you as a human? Who are you as a soul? And how did you come to be on this mission here, helping other women?
So I'm an author, speaker, and most importantly, a mother. My company is Abundance Academy, and we work with professional women who have an interest in personal growth and development. If you saw my library right here, it's floor to ceiling, full wall of books. Not a lot of space. It's exploding. But women that have an interest in personal growth and development, they want to be more, do more, have more, and they want to really live that rich and fulfilling life. They know they have more within them, but they're not fulfilling their fullest potential. So um, that's me from a business sense. And one of the things, like in terms of how I got to where I am, my journey started a long time ago when I was first in financial services. And I didn't really understand what was happening in with people. I understood my products, I understood money, I understood how everything worked, but I didn't understand human psychology. And I realized that we're working with people, and I needed to start learning about people in general. And along the way, I started learning about myself. And so that spiraled into many, many iterations of myself. I feel like a lot of times when I go through parts of my story, people are like, wow, you've lived 9 lives. Like I've performed internationally on stages, I've performed in a ton of audiences. We've been featured on television. We've been published in books. I've spoken. I've got my own book. I left my career at its peak. I have like fairy tale wedding, like just beautiful things that have happened to me and beautiful opportunities along the way. However, I think the common thread that has been following me through everything is personal growth and development, because life is good when life is good, and then all of a sudden goes and then you got to like crawl your way back up. And if you don't take the time to actually get back up, you stay stuck. And I think we have ups and downs in life, but if you don't find ways to keep coming back and getting your head above water, no matter what's going on, life will always happen. People will die, jobs will change, circumstances will happen, you will move, you things will happen in your life every couple of years and you can't predict what they are. But what you can do is get to know yourself better than anyone else and really condition yourself so that you can adapt. And I think a lot of that's really based on universal law. And that's something I started studying probably about 8 years ago in a lot more depth and with a lot more certainty.
Interesting. Do you want to expand on that a little bit more about the universal law?
Yeah, so I was on mat leave with my son. It took us 10 years to get pregnant and love my kid, but he's definitely he's our miracle child. And so while I was on mat leave, I started studying with Bob Proctor because I was driving my husband crazy, and he's like, "Larissa, I love you, but you need some help and I can't be the one to do this. Go find a coach," because he was smart enough to do that back then. So he's like, "Adam, I can't fix my wife. I can't help you with whatever's going on, but I see something, so I'm going to support you." So I ended up, one of the programs I got involved in was with Bob Proctor. I did his year-long coaching program. And within a week of starting that, everything changed. Like the way I looked at the world and everything, it same things I heard in so many different places because I'd been in that world for almost 20 years prior to that. But it was different. It was different. And something penetrated, and conversations I used to tolerate, I no longer could. Things that I would just dismiss and make excuses about, I was like, this isn't working anymore. And one of the things that Bob talked about over time, I ended up applying to be a consultant with his organization, got accepted, and that's essentially how I started my business. But even from the beginning, like what he talked about was universal law. There was always some aspect of universal law embedded in his programs, in his courses, in all of his teachings. Sometimes he would do like a deep dive on all the laws, and sometimes he'd just sprinkle it in, but it was always there. And what happens is laws work with all people in all places at all times. So if I take this lip gloss here in Toronto, Canada, and I drop it, it's going to fall. Law of gravity. People are like, I don't get universal law, but they get law of gravity. Okay, that's why we're stuck to this earth. But if you take this lip gloss on the other side of the globe and drop it, what's going to happen? It's going to drop. Like no one's going to doubt that, even if you're on the opposite side of the planet. So when you start understanding universal law, these are principles that stand the test of time. And I think in the times of AI and cell phones and things changing so fast, things are rapidly changing. But the principles of universal law and principles, they don't change, they stay the same. And so I think that's a really important thing when you're looking at truly studying yourself, someone else, an industry, anything, is learning about the principles of what's actually happening and not just going, ooh, what's the latest trend? Ooh, what's the latest thing? Like, what's really happening with the entire picture? And how does it relate to other aspects in your life and in your world? You become so much more powerful, and it's exciting because you can start predicting patterns. You may not be able to predict the timeline, but you can start predicting patterns with absolute certainty. So for example, when we during the pandemic when it first hit, Bob Proctor pulled all the consultants onto a call and people were freaking out because the COVID, the pandemic, the world's turning upside down. And he's like, guys, like I'm not as young as I used to be. I've been through this so many, like I've been through wars, I've been through all kinds of global crises. And he listed them and he's like, you know what I realized is things always get better because when something goes down, it will go up. I don't know when, week, month, couple months, year, I don't know when, but it will get better. So don't worry. Your job now is to prepare for when it is better and realize it's not going to be like this. So he had his own variation of of that, but essentially that was the message, and I think that was really powerful because so many people instantly go into reaction mode, but when you know how the laws work, you can show up and respond. You don't need to go freak out. You can just be like, okay, this is not what I anticipated. Let's see where this is going to go. And you're a different kind of energy.
You're taking the power back from it, right? So instead of being reactive,
Absolutely.
you're like, I get to choose
Yeah.
and we get to make it what it is. Oh, I love that. Larissa, you talk a lot about procrastination. And I have to put my hand up. I have been that woman for many years. Not anymore. I like to think not anymore, but it had a stronghold on me. And why is it such a big thing for women, especially when it comes to taking that leap of faith and stepping into who they are meant to be?
I mean, I procrastination, this is like a huge discussion. My book, I'm going to just start with this. My book, Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away, Discover the Secrets to More Time, Money, and Freedom. This is not about procrastination in and of itself. It's about putting the things off that are truly most important to you. But what happens when I share the title of my book, people are like, "Ooh, stop procrastinating." And it's like, no, it's actually your life away. But okay, but the response I get is like, "Oh my God, I'm such a procrastinator. Oh my goodness, it's such a terrible thing." Procrastination, it is what it is. It can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. However, it's what you perceive it to be. There are times I have procrastinated and it has absolutely served me, but I think where it's dangerous is when you start immediately thinking it has to be a bad thing, or surrendering to other people's preconceived notions, because procrastination and sabotage, when you're using them constructively, can be a good thing. And there are times where we've put things off and we're in this creative zone and it works for us. But I think where a lot of us don't want to be is in this unproductive or unconstructive procrastination mode. And that's probably what you're like, oh, I don't like that one. That's not working for me. And so that form of procrastination and is it's not sabotage. It's like it's not a sign of weakness or laziness. It's more of a protective mechanism. Maybe you feel like you're in danger or your nervous system feels unsafe. So if you're not going to feel good, what are you going to do? You're going to avoid whatever it is that you don't want to do and stick your head in the sand. Maybe you've grown up with the identity of being a procrastinator. They're like, oh, you're such a procrastinator. And you're like, oh, yeah, I'm such a procrastinator. You wear it with a badge of honor, not over exaggerating it. No one would really do that. But sometimes you pride yourself on these things and be a martyr. And now you look like you're laughing because it's so ridiculous, but we do it. I've done it.
True.
You've probably done
Yes.
it. We've all done it. And
I'm
sometimes
like,
it's just
she's not even over exaggerating. Like, I can hear people's
oh,
voices. Yeah, I can hear
gotta get
it.
the hand up. Gotta get the hand up. Or even a behavior. It could be something, a learned behavior. It's like, oh, well, my parents always just said we'll do it tomorrow, so I just do it tomorrow. And it might not even be your natural behavior. It's just something you learn to do, and you can probably change it easily if you want to. And so when you look at procrastination, I think look at what it really is and start identifying where is it coming from for you? Like, are you taking on the identity? Is it a learned behavior? Or is it this feeling of extreme discomfort, avoiding something you genuinely don't want to do? And it could be any of them, it could be all of them in different scenarios and in different cases, but that will help you come up with your best next steps.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So it could be a self-sabotage, or it might not be.
I
So,
mean, sometimes we just do things because we don't really think. Like sometimes we deliberately mess up because we're like, oh, I'm not good enough. And there's a deeper thing. And other times it's just lack of awareness. We're just glued to our phones, going do 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 do, and we don't even notice we're doing it. And it's not like we're trying to or we're not trying to. We just are oblivious, I think, in our busy lives. If it's not the phone, it's the checklist or the kids' activities, the thousand things that you're doing for everyone else, and not really taking the time to think. I think a lot of people don't actually take the time to think.
mm, how can we bring more awareness back to that point where we actually do take ownership on taking time to think?
Well, that you do just that. You actually have to hit the pause button. So I have this easy button. I don't know if you guys have these, but
Ooh, I have not seen one of
you
those.
hit it. So you hit it and he says that was easy. But I always think of this whenever I see it, I'm like, I always think of like hitting the stop button. I want one that says stop, like just put the hand up. So I always think of like hitting a big button, like just hit the pause button and give yourself some space. When it comes to the word consciousness, I think consciousness, it's like in the holier than art thou energy space, right? Let's be consciously aware. Okay. Well, when you really look at what consciousness is, it's like conscious awareness. It's like paying attention. So instead of rushing through things, maybe you sit and you look around and you observe. Maybe you take a couple of breaths before diving into a meeting. Like sit before you click join now on Zoom, you take 3 slow breaths, and they might feel like an eternity. So slow. That's okay. Maybe it's a matter of just really looking and trying to pay attention with each of your 5 senses. You got 5 senses. So in this moment, what do you see, smell, hear, taste, touch? Like what's going on with all your 5 senses? It'll help you get more present. It doesn't even matter what the answer is. It's just you taking the time to pay attention when an experience happens. And it doesn't matter if it's a good, bad, whatever emotion, notice what that emotion feels like in your body because the emotions, they have a physiological response. Anger in me is going to feel different than anger in you. joy in me is going to feel different than joy in you. There might be some common characteristics, but we're all going to have a slightly different physiological response to different emotions based on our life, based on our experiences. But when you know what they are in you, nothing's good, nothing's bad. Only your thinking makes it so, but you can get so much more present and just aware. And I think the more you start being aware, the more you give yourself permission to ask questions. And when you start asking questions and start asking intelligent questions, that's when you start learning, like really learning and thinking in different ways. Don't assume everything's right because someone says it. If you don't like anything I say, feel free to disagree with it. Like, I do not take it personally. I'm giving you my perspective, but you go create your own. I love it when my clients are like, Larissa, I don't agree with you. I'm like, thank you. Like, at least you're thinking about it. I don't need you to agree with me. I'm going to share my opinion and perspective, but you think for yourself what's right for you.
What are the differences between intelligent questions to ask yourself and not so intelligent questions?
Um, it's a good question. Intelligent questions versus non-intelligent. So I think like non-intelligent questions are like, what is this? Like just things that don't lead to any depth. And I think when you start excavating and looking at why something happens, what different scenarios and circumstances there are, it leads you to different responses. One of my favorite intelligent questions is instead of like, what's my dream? Great. Like, what's my future self or what's my dream? A better question that can lead to a positive outcome. So this might be the answer to your question because I've never even thought about that. But I'm gonna do some thinking on that later. But it can lead to something constructive. So what would I be doing or not doing that's different from what I'm doing now if this were true? Not just like, what do I want? Great. But what would I be doing or not doing that's different from what I'm doing now? I ask that all the time. But what does that answer give you? It gives you a checklist of, are you doing these things and are you prepared to receive your dream? Why would God hand you your dream on a silver platter if you're not ready? Your job is to get prepared, and then you could say thank you. And success is inevitable. It doesn't matter what it is. And it might be simple. It might be take action and have checklists and have KPIs. And it might be say no to your friend when they ask you to go out and you really don't want to. It could be something as simple as that. It could be ask for help at home and stop trying to do it all yourself. You don't know what you would be doing or not doing until you ask that question. But you, as your future self, has so many new new tasks. What, there's a word for it. There's a word for it. Yeah, you have a new you have a new set of criteria. You do have a new set of criteria because how you're operating today is not how your future self can operate. But you need to know what you are willing to do and what you're willing to let go of. And in most cases, the higher up the so-called success chain you get, the more things you need to let go of. So you're doing more of the things that matter and letting go of the rest. You actually start to do a lot less stuff. It gets really boring, but you get really good at it. And people are like, wow, you're amazing. You're just doing something over and over and over again with a high level of proficiency.
Oh, I love it. So asking yourself intelligent questions is going to bring in that the clarity and the confidence of your purpose so that you can actually say no and let go of those things that are going to be holding you down
Yeah.
with what you're not really aligned with and what you really actually don't want. So you can actually move forward with
Yeah.
a really clear vision. I think that's what many women out there struggle with. They're not clear on their vision. It's all
Mhm.
murky. And then they go, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what that next step is. And they get very much in their head about it. And what you've just explained is if you actually get very specific with what you're asking yourself, what you want, how does it look, how does it feel, what you can do to support yourself, it won't be foggy, it won't be unclear. You'll actually have very clear vision of what calls you forward.
But and I think you really hit the nail on the head because most women don't have a clue of what their vision is. Like I had done 20 years of personal growth, and when I was asked to write out my like the vision of my ideal life, I came up blank and I was crying my face off because I was like, I really have no idea. Like I know a lot of other things. I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of checklists, but the vision, I don't know how I never did that before. But when I was asked to do that, I was just like so stumped and I felt like a total failure. And I think a lot of times it sounds like a simple thing, but there's a lot of pressure. I'm like, well, how do I even know that I want this? And I really went hunting for ways to figure that out. Like, how do I get the clarity to actually know what I want, affirm what that is? Because I know how to make a checklist. I know how to create the steps to get anywhere. I'm really good at that. But to identify the where, I had no idea it was so hard, but you need clarity before you can have the confidence. And when you have the conviction to drive it forward and the commitment, like life is really good. You become unstoppable. But clarity is that first step.
I'm curious, Larissa, if you had goals but not the vision, what were the goals working towards?
They were just random things that popped up in my life. I'm a very external manifester, so I see things and then I pull them in. I'm very good at seeing shiny stars that I like and pulling them and going, that's not for me. I don't want it. So it was just this mishmash. It was like modern art, like just this random stuff that was thrown together and it was fine, but they didn't connect, right? They didn't connect. I couldn't give you a picture of what my ideal day looked like or what some of the elements would be in my ideal day. And even though I probably knew, I couldn't admit them because I was so afraid of being wrong. And I think that's another thing. So one of the I was in a workshop, I don't know, years ago, and they went through a vision casting grid and they did it in like 10 minutes and I was like, "Oh my word, like this is the answer because this is allowing me to figure out one piece of my vision at a time and I can say yes or no with confidence in this little box." And then we move to another box. I'm like, I could say yes or no. I needed a little more time than 10 minutes. So I ended up turning it into a 4-hour workshop and expanding it. And now we do this workshop over several days. Like we've worked with and evolved the workshop over years, but I was like, that was like the first step. But I found ways to take this big scary thing with no structure and give it some structure, but also make it accessible. So creative people can have structure to contain themselves. Structured engineering minds could have safety to be creative and not feel pressured to have all the answers at once. And so it's been a really beautiful opportunity, but I think we really need to get that clarity and realize you're not going to have all the answers in 5 minutes. You might not have it in the first 3 to 6 months, even year, but if you stick with it and keep coming back to it, the answers will come in a relatively short period of time.
Mm, it's such a beautiful point to make. We put so much pressure on ourselves to
Journal it the first time and get it right. Don't mess it up.
exactly. And I'm a big fan of like coming back and reflecting. Is this still what I want? Is this still my vision? It's moved on. It's evolved. It's tweaked. I've written my vision boards down in the middle of the year because they weren't aligning with me anymore. I'm like, it's not what I want anymore. That version of me that created it, love her, and she's choosing something different, and it's okay to have the
Yeah.
confidence to say I choose differently and tweak and evolve and follow that because it is the clarity coming through when you start taking steps. The path sort of clears and you get more clarity on where you're going. And I almost think if I don't go back and reflect on it, it's almost a self sabotage because I'm putting myself in this very restrictive box. And great things come when you allow change to come through and filter in. Beautiful. Fantastic. When people come to you, Larissa, and they go, I need some help, what are their biggest concerns and what are the first steps you take with them?
I think some of the biggest concerns are they may not be concerns, but these are the things that a lot of people express. It's like, I've been doing this work for a long time. Why isn't it working as well as it should be for me? Right? There's this expectation like, well, I'm doing the 5 a.m. club and it's good, but I know it could be better. What am I doing wrong? Um, or they're feeling lonely or they're feeling stressed and um they can't put the pin in the map. Like they need more structure, they need more order, they need more support. And they're like, I know this stuff, but I'm not practicing it. I think that's another big thing. I know most of what you say. Like what I teach is not, it's not brand new. I teach things that I've learned from other people. I might have new perspectives on it, new stories, but what I teach is not new. It's stuff other people teach out there as well. But one of the things that we do really well is bring that consistency in and the application. And so when someone comes to work with me, I think the biggest thing that we do is we really help them put a pin in the map. Like where are they really? What do they want? What are their biggest needs, problems, and desires? And where on that continuum are you clear and where do you need more clarity? So we start creating a plan in a really simple way so that they can first get breathing room. I think this is big for most people. Step one is like, let's get some breathing room. Step two is let's start making bigger progress. Let's close up some of those gaps and let's crack open those dreams and start taking massive action towards them. And not in a, oh my God, I have to have a big dream and my heart is going to palpate kind of way, but like, let's get excited about life. Let's get that clarity so you can actually move forward towards something meaningful. And they might be simple things like a home renovation or taking your family on a big trip. I had one client, she was like, my family life is a disaster, and she like had terrible communication with her husband. She was snapping at her kids because he was gone a lot, she was with them, they were young, and she was like, I'm not really proud of that. She came on our calls, but within a couple of weeks she's like, I had a great weekend with my husband and I didn't yell at him. She's like, I realized I might be the problem. And I'm like, we all are. We're all the problem. But she took ownership over it instead of beating herself up. And within 5 weeks, she doubled her annual income. But what did she come? Because she was just not happy with her family situation. But she's like, oh, and now, because I'm just not grumpy at people, I'm willing to be receptive. And this idea someone gave me 5 times, I listened to, and boom, cha-ching, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think this kind of stuff happens all the time. You come for one thing, but you end up getting other results. Sometimes it comes quickly, sometimes it takes a little longer, but you've got to take the first step and say, let's get some breathing room. Let's find something that lights me up.
I love that transformation, the willingness to be open to, okay, yeah, I love that. I am the problem. And we all have things that we stuff up in life. And until we take the ownership on it, be like, yeah, actually, I can change rather than the you, they, all the blaming in the world, then we actually can bring in this energy that transform all areas of our lives. And it's underrated.
It is, absolutely.
Mm, fantastic. All right, Larissa, sounds like you have had some amazing transformational women come through your doors, and your book is available for everyone to go out there and read. Are there any other ways that people can work with you?
I mean, if you want access to the book, stopprocrastinatingbook.com. We give it away for free, the whole thing. We want people to actually use it. It's not just a pleasure read, it's like a workbook, it's a life book, so you can get to know yourself better than anyone else. And if you are interested in learning more about what we do, every single month we hold some kind of event for our community. At the Abundance Academy, we are holding the Vision Expansion Experience right now. We'll be holding a Morning Magic Challenge where we look at our morning routine. We've got master classes, we've got hypnosis training. So we cover things that really do help you live a rich and fulfilling life and not just learn a bunch of stuff, but utilize it. So our goal is really to help make the world a better place. We want to touch more than 1 billion lives. And it's not going to happen by us just doing our master classes. It's going to happen by us doing them, you coming and you going out and making a difference in the lives of the people you touch. And so this world is really, really beautiful, and it's got so much contrast, it's got so much energy, but it's up to us to let ourselves shine in the best light.
Oh, I just got chills going down. It is up to us to let ourselves shine. And that
Yeah.
is
Stop
beyond
procrastinating your
confidence.
life away. Go live your mission. Go live your mission.
Yes. Go do
Yeah,
your mission, be clear on your mission, and do it confidently. And that
absolutely.
makes such a difference in the world. I know that when you step forward in your confidence, other people, you might not know it, but other people take note and
Yeah.
they go look at her and they go, oh, that's enough for them to lean in for what they need in their lives and start asking those intelligent questions. Fantastic. All right, Larissa, I have three Empress questions of which I'm dying to ask you. I would love to know, how do you embody your Empress?
How do I embody my Empress? I I like to play dress up. There was a time I was shopping in Montreal and we went to these boutiques, and this one woman is like, "I'd like to dress you up like my Barbie doll." And she was just this cute young, like she must have been 19 something. And she dressed me all up, and then she put on this beautiful belt, and she's like, "And when you tie your belt, you tie it with passion." And like it came out, she just totally, it was just like so miraculous, but it really showed me the meaning of taking care in the little things. And for me, I love clothes. Today I recorded 6 podcast episodes. I changed 6 times. Why? Because I could. Some people don't care, but for me, I feel like the energy, the topic, the vibe, I feel different when I play dress up, and I feel like that gets expressed in what I say and how I show up, and it's not about other people. I mean, great if you like that fact that my lipstick matches my nails. I
I
don't know if you
noticed, actually, I did notice.
I have to wear red lipstick with these nails. It just doesn't work any other color. So until I change them, that's what you're gonna get. But these are the things that excite me. They're little things, but those small things allow me to do bigger and more significant things, the more spiritual things, the more grandiose things that allow me to actually express myself as I am.
I love that. I love that. And I love the shade of lip and nail. It is gorgeous on you.
Thank you.
How does your Empress energy feel?
There's like this sorry, I'm very physical. It's very tall. I think it's very tall and very expansive. And for me, it really comes from the like big wide chest right up the spine. And I used to work in the mind body space, so I use a lot of kinesthetic analogies, but I feel it's almost like this big openness, but also like a hug coming from behind. So it's like yes, and coming around. So it's just this bigness, but in a safe and empowered way.
Oh my goodness. That is maybe one of the best answers I've ever had. That is very descriptive. I love it. Right. And what are your parting words of wisdom for inspiring your nation?
Keep moving forward in all that you do. Even when you think you suck, even when you have a bad day, even when you're like, I didn't shower, whatever it is, like we will have ups and downs, but keep moving forward no matter what happens, because the only way that you're going to truly fail is if you quit. And if you keep going, people will forget. People are too preoccupied with their own lives to see your mess ups. They genuinely want to see you succeed. I know that you and we want to see you succeed as well. We are here because we believe in our clients, we believe in our communities, we believe in the women that are out there looking to make changes in the world. And if you don't believe in yourself, borrow our belief in you. So keep moving forward in all that you do.
Yes. Keep moving forward. Absolutely. We always have so many more cheerleaders behind us than what we realize. And if
Yeah.
we just pull on that power and go, yes, people have our back. The
I feel
things
like you need pom-poms. I want you to have like Dusty Rose pom-poms. I used to do pole dancing parties, fun fact. and we used to have pom-poms, but I miss the pom-pom days. There's something
Oh
invigorating about pom-poms. There's like a sound and they're so fun. I feel like you might need a pom-pom
my
episode.
gosh. I'm going to have to investigate this.
I'm vibing it. I'm vibing it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You'll see me next Halloween. I'll be having the full cheerleader outfit. I love it.
I can totally see it. You're this innocent, beautiful cheerleader. Love it.
Fantastic. Wow, what an episode. The transformation is there for you to go out and grab it and take control of your life. Embrace your life and live it the way that you want to. Thank you so much for joining us, Larissa. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.